Hi, everyone. Welcome to Best Life by You podcast. I'm Julie, your host. And Best Life by You podcast, for anybody just joining, we have conversations around health, wellness, nutrition, mindset, relationships, and all of the above. And today I'm super excited to introduce to you guys one of my dear friends and my client, Pri. So, hi, Pri. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here.
And we have our mugs, so we're really set for today. So I'm just going to be getting into it again. Today's just a conversation, and Pri has had such an incredible transformation in regards to every part of her and just the life that she's had over the past 5 years, of how strong she is, how resilient she is, and I just want you guys to be inspired by her and how far she's come. So, Pri, I know we met back, when was it,
2022.
2022, right, yes. Oh, that was a staple. Yes.
I think it was like July, beginning of July.
Yeah, because I remember, it was, yeah, and then you did your first health.
I think my first OTF class was like June 22nd, and then I took your Saturday class. You were like my second coach.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, who is this bundle of energy?
Yeah, that was, well, and even then it was like, I was going through a time, I was going through a breakup, I was going through a lot then, but yeah, it was just one of those things like, Pri is such a positive human being. So I was like, because of your positive energy, Pri, that you're just like somebody that people are naturally drawn to. So I was like, okay, who is this girl as well? And then we became friends, and now we're inseparable now, like 3 years later. So, yeah, you could just talk more so about, where you started, because I know we started coaching back then, and it was a little bit more, we were focused on tracking and getting you to a physique goal, and you had gotten there, and then we had different mindset goals and things of that nature. So feel free to just share, share your journey.
Absolutely. So I've always been interested in health and wellness, and I always wanted to better myself. But over the course of the years, I would, work out and do all of these diets and whatnot, and nothing really seemed to get me to the level that I really wanted it to. I mean, I would see some improvements, and then suddenly I would go back, and it would be kind of like a back and forth ping pong battle. And then, COVID hit. And that was a really, really rough time in life for everyone, honestly, especially in the fitness world, because we didn't have access to gyms. I wasn't able to regularly work out. And that's where I really noticed I fell off of who I wanted to be, and what kind of body that I wanted to display to people, and what kind of entity that I wanted to display to people. I felt really self-conscious, and, didn't feel quite myself. And then during the middle of COVID, my cousin suddenly talked to me about OTF, and she was like, oh, we're doing this because we're going to get married soon, and we really want to better ourselves. And I was like, okay, let me just take one class and give it a try. And I took my first class, and I was like, wow, this is
hard. Also, for people listening, it's OTF is Orange Theory. It's just the crew that's been part of it they know it as OTF. So, or OT, people even say.
Well, because I always used to work out by myself. I would always do the gym, and I honestly never really pushed myself hard at the gym, because no one's judging you, right? No one is watching you. No one's judging you. You're kind of taking responsibility for yourself. You're not holding yourself accountable, because there's nothing to compare yourself to when you're at a gym working out alone.
Which can have some benefits, where I think the accountability piece is something a lot of people crave.
Right. And you do have to have a structure in your mind in order to be able to do self-training at the gym. You really need to be regimented. My mind doesn't really work that way. I do tend to be a little bit lazy. And so for me, if I don't have somebody holding me accountable, or, some people to watch and look up to, I don't really push myself to the ability that I think I could really, really do. So when I first took the OTF class, and, tried that for the first time, watching all these incredible people train, watching the coaches push you, one-on-one, even sometimes in the classes, it really then motivated me to continue to better myself, through working out. And I just saw other people like lifting harder, other people running faster, growing stronger. And I just wanted to do that myself. And each and every day I would see myself getting stronger and stronger. But still, that really wasn't enough for me. And then talking with you and learning about your journey with being vegan, and your journey with health and wellness, and how bettering yourself doesn't necessarily mean working out like rigorously and just eating nothing. It's about like your relationship with food, your relationship with your body, your relationship with working out, and balancing those things in a proper way, and then finding that true like connection with all three. And I think for me, having someone like you to coach me through that is absolutely what I needed to take it to the next level, because I think I knew I was capable of bettering myself, but I just didn't know how much. And maybe for certain people, somebody also needs to tell you how important, those kind of things are, and what you can really like, bringing out your true potential.
Yeah. Any coach, and like I've said it before, like I have a coach as well. Do I need her all the time? No, I don't. But it's nice to have like that accountability of someone to be like, ooh, this was a goal I set, or this is what I'm going through. Somebody to talk through situations with, and all the aspects of health. It's like it's therapy mixed in with coaching, mixed in with somebody who's gonna be like, no, you can do this. Like you're not giving up on yourself. Like you can do this. And I wanted to, you had said at a point you were like, oh, I'm lazy. I'm like, I don't think you are at all.
It's not laziness. It's like not pushing yourself to the potential. Maybe that's the better word.
Yeah, I would say that to like to phrase that, because you are, I know, and we'll talk about what you do for work too, because I again admire you. I always thought that was so cool. I'm like, my client does this. What did your client do? Like, it's so cool. It's so cool what you do. And I wanted to just take that moment to really, share that. But it is that accountability piece. It's nice to have somebody to be like, no, I see your potential and I know what you can do, and let's get there. And I mean, even now at this point, like from everything you've gone through up until this point, I'm like, no, Pri, like if you want to get to that point, you know you can do it. Like that's
exactly.
I know you can do it, you know you can do it. It's just not a priority. And it all goes down to priorities too. Like that was something Pri and I spoke about. Her priorities have shifted over the past few years. And they will, like in life, it will. It's either maybe some people get married, maybe they have kids, maybe it's a new career, maybe it's moving somewhere. But even for me, I had this conversation, I think, with my own coach, and I was doing progress pictures, and I was like, honestly, I just feel like I've been the same the past 2 years, because exercise will always be part of my life, but my bodybuilding energy, or what I was pouring into bodybuilding, was not a priority at this point. My business is not my priority, where it's like at this point I get to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I make sure I eat, I make sure I have my protein, my fiber, make sure I get veggies and fruits in every single day and get all my nutrients that I need. But it's not something that like years ago I was prioritizing it and making that like, oh, I want to really focus on it, where now I'm just like, I'm maintaining. It's still healthy, but I'm maintaining the habits I knew.
Yes.
And I learned.
Yes. So, and I think that's what really struck a chord with me was, okay, I started my journey with you. And initially my journey was to better myself, see what I could do, where my potential can go.
Yeah.
So, like I went on a cut with you. I even became vegan for a while. I wanted to see like, what can these kind of changes do for my body? Eating healthier, making sure that I gain more protein, drink a lot more water, but then also push myself at Orange Theory.
Yeah.
And that's where I really saw like the rapid transformation, and I would see like such a change in my body and how strong I can become. Oh my gosh, I can gain muscle, like I can see the definition. Like I was like, wow, okay, so I do have the ability to change that. And then, over the course of time, like my health changed, my priorities changed, but knowing in the back of my mind that I can do that is all I needed for my mental health and everything. Like But now for me, doing those challenges at OTF, making sure that like I put myself in a cut, that's not quite the priority for
Mm-hmm.
me anymore. And I think that's what I learned from you, and what struck with me the most is that that's okay to
Mm-hmm.
not have that priority all the time.
Yeah.
Your life in life, like things change, you know, journeys become different. You get thrown a lot of, like challenges in
Yep.
life that you don't even see coming,
Yeah.
and I think, you know, that's where I really, really found my strength, and really found um, where I can, even though it's dark times, how to make myself still happy
Mm-hmm.
without doing all of those,
Yeah.
you know, challenges and things that, initially showed me like how strong I can
Yeah.
become. I just have to keep reminding myself that I am strong no
Yeah.
matter what.
And that's the other part of it is like strong has so many definitions, just like
Correct.
healthy does. And we'll
Yes.
get into that, but you know that you can, and right now it's not a priority. And I think that's something
Yeah.
people, it's the definitive, when people speak so definitively of I'm never going to do that again, that's not a priority for me. I think it's very limiting in a way because I mean, never say never, it applies to like 90% of situations, not 100%, right? Like
Yeah.
we're talking an ex that's super toxic.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get back together with him. Congrats, do not get back together with him. Like don't if he was toxic. But my point is your right now priorities have shifted, and the beauty of being able to be by your side is I've seen you grow tremendously in your
Yeah.
self advocacy as well, of just you transforming into prioritizing you,
Yeah.
because I mean, unfortunately, you were put into situations where you had to prioritize you, and without your health, what
Yeah.
is there?
Yeah.
Right? And like, so you were continually put into these situations that challenged you, it challenged your faith, it challenged everything.
Yeah.
And it made you realize like, wow, I am super strong mentally, physically, all of that, spiritually. I know I can get through this. I'm glad I still prioritize, I'm glad I've been taking care of my health so I can make it through maybe a little bit quicker than somebody who did not take care of their
Yes.
health would get through. But it's okay if it's okay if working out takes a backseat, because you know now it's going to be forever part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I'm not working out, or I have to have surgery for the next 2 months, or I'm out of the gym for the next 2 to 6 months. And it's like, okay, that's 2 to 6 months in retrospect. Look at your entire life. Okay, God willing, 80 years, 6 months is a blink of an eye.
I mean, I will say it was really, really
Or
hard
not working. Oh yeah,
to not
because it's
work out.
part of
And
your
I
life
know
now.
you know
Yeah.
how that is, because you've also had to stop working out
Mm-hmm.
due to health issues too.
Yep.
But somehow I got through it, and I want to remind everyone that like when you have like a wellness and fitness coach, you
Yeah.
don't 100% have to utilize them only for fitness
Yep.
and eating. For me, without having my calls with Julia every week for, like to check up on me and all, I don't know where I would be mentally. Like I need her guidance to just even keep me just grounded. Like we don't even talk about fitness, and we don't even talk about food anymore at this point, because right now that's not my priority.
Mm-hmm.
But what we focus on is how to ground myself, how to like build my faith, how I can deal with stresses at work, how I
Mm-hmm.
can deal with even just stresses in life,
Mm-hmm.
personal, work, family stress. All those things contribute to your health and wellness.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that like it's not just about working out, and it's not just about food. So for me, like right now in my journey, that's the most important. And later on in life, when I feel like I'm ready to go back into that like fitness journey and eating journey, then I still have her to
Yeah.
help me with that. And we
Yeah.
can just completely
Go back.
just go back without no
Start over. I don't even
exactly.
know if you'd say like start over, and
Not even.
but it's no, it because
Yeah.
this is what I've said before. No man walks in the same river twice, because
Right.
the river's not the same and the man is not the same. And you
Exactly.
should not. I think this is something I've heard too, is like I want to be back to where I was in 2018. I want to be back, but that version of you does not exist.
No,
So
it's never gonna.
maybe you're thinking and idealizing this memory or this person of yourself, but you're not really like, you're not going to be that person. Like, it's a great memory. And maybe you think of things, and this could be a tip of like, okay, why do you want to be that person in 2018? Okay, maybe you were really generous
Mhm.
and you were super generous. You did a lot of volunteering. Maybe you spent more time with friends.
Yeah.
So those traits and those aspirations that you had then can be replicated now, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean it doesn't mean you can't do those habits anymore, those things that made you feel good, but that person of you does not exist.
Oh my gosh, no. I am what I was in 2022, what I was in even 2023, 2024 is not the same person
She's
that
such a
I
badass. No. I mean, she was a badass, though, but you know.
I just I am a very, very different person. Maybe not personality wise, maybe I maintained that personality, but just like the way I think,
Mhm.
though, even at work, like I was very timid before. I was like not willing to fight for myself, but
Mhm.
now, hell no. Like I am going to fight anything to
Yeah.
make sure that I remain like stress free and like do the work that I need to do and then prioritize myself in the end.
Yeah.
Like I never used to do that before. So
And I saw
absolutely you're
that.
right.
I saw like what a blessing it is from God. First of all, to have like commonality of being able to talk openly about our faith,
Yeah.
but just you also on this journey. It's been such a blessing to be able to see because I remember, and I can go back because I have
Hmm.
all of our call notes. I have call notes from day one, and I just remember some goals were like learn to advocate for self, like practice advocating, even if it's a coffee shop and somebody gets it wrong. How are you advocating for yourself in that
Yeah.
situation? Like there were so many things I just remember through your notes of looking back of like year celebrations of like, wow, she's improved in her self advocacy. And that's
Yeah.
something as a woman, especially,
It's very hard.
it is hard. It is hard. You are in, and this is the other thing if you want to pivot to, because I'd love to talk about
Yeah.
what you do for work because you are in like you have to be a strong woman in your field that you're in right now
Yeah.
and you're incredibly bright and so I just would love for you to share about even how you got into the field you're in now,
Yeah.
what you do for work. So yeah, feel free to just like dive into
Sure.
that.
So ever since I can remember, like I've always had like a strong affinity towards medicine and, working with patients and but I didn't know in particular like what kind of field I wanted to go into until like I had like a family member who suffered from like stage 4 lung cancer. And this family member, who was my grandma's sister, was like near and dear to me. Like I loved her so much. She was like such an important person in my life. She basically raised me when I was a child. And to lose her at such a young age, like to stage 4 cancer, was like one of the saddest things. I remember how much I cried when we lost her. And it was like probably one of the hardest, deaths that I've ever like had to experience in my life. Um, and so ever since that day, I remember telling my mom and my dad, like, I want to go and treat patients with cancer. And then I had an affinity to kids. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to become a pediatric oncologist. Little did I know that that journey is very, very difficult. A.
Yeah.
B, I realized you have to have a certain type of like
Personality.
personality and emotional like being to be able to do that. I'm incredibly emotional person, as you know
Very
very well.
empathetic, but I think you express your emotions, which is also a very big positive. Like
Yeah,
the fact that you can express your emotions is a
exactly.
positive thing.
But
But
sometimes that's not what is needed for, certain careers. Like if you are going into um, treating children with cancer, you really have to have a strong, strong heart and a strong, like, emotional sense because, you're going to have mothers and fathers coming crying to you and you can't shed a
mhm,
tear in front of them because
mhm,
you need to be strong for them. I feel maybe I would have learned to become like strong, but
mhm,
um thinking back, then I decided to switch into the research field instead because I was like, instead of like treating the patients, wait, maybe I can actually find a cure. And I think that's, in my opinion, like way more valuable
yeah,
because that's where like we need to start.
Yeah.
We need to figure out the cure before we treat the patients.
Yeah.
So instead of going into med school, I ended up like going to grad school to get my degree in immunology, which then led me to working in cancer immunology research. And currently I work at Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, which is just here in Tarrytown, New York. And I've been there for 10 years now, and it's been quite a journey. I've had ups and downs there as well. But overall, I would say my experience has been amazing because I have driven a lot of drugs to the clinic where it's now being tested in patients and actually curing people. And I've gotten to even see how our drugs have been able to help some of these patients because they've come to our company and told their story about how like the drug has affected them. And there is the reward in what I work in. And every day I go home knowing that like the work that I'm doing, even it seems like a small amount of something is going towards bettering, patients in the future. So it's honestly the most incredibly rewarding position. But like Julia mentioned, there is a lot of ups and downs being like a woman scientist in a very male dominated field sometimes, where big decisions are being made by like, sorry to say, like older white men in the room.
Yeah.
And sometimes your voice is not often heard. But, I do work for a very strong female boss, and she advocates herself every single day. And I really learn from her how to just open my voice up and make sure that I'm heard at work every single day. Even if it means like fighting back with her sometimes because she says some things that are not something that I agree with, but I advocate for myself because she also taught me how to do that. So, there's a lot that I've learned in this career and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah. And even people listening, I'm sure, have known somebody or seen somebody go through cancer. And we know, I mean, there's always both sides. Like I'm very holistic in a lot of ways, but also I agree there's modern medicine that helps so many people.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's what your work is so important because this is such a problem we've seen in the world of like more and more. I mean, I do believe diet can help in some respect, as we've talked about. Like,
absolutely,
what you eat is food is medicine in its own way of like what you're eating. Are you eating fast food every single day? Are you having veggies every day?
You eat, right?
Yes, you are what you eat. And I do believe in that as well. So it's like, that is something, even in my business, what I like to practice is I'm like, okay, let's go down to lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? Okay, what are you doing every day? What are you intaking every single day? And then we can build on that. And it's like, but what you do is it requires so much discipline. That's why discipline for me, I was never worried with you because I'm like, you practice discipline in your work every day of what you need to do and how you show up. So it's like what you do is very commendable of like showing up and having to, just stay focused on your job. And if you're tired, that can impact your work. Like you don't want to be messing up a study or messing up, an experiment that you have if you're not sleeping and not taking care of yourself. So that's like,
and that's something I just recently started implementing in my life. How, like if I am tired, if I work a longer day, I am going to cancel that workout class. I am going to sleep a little bit more. Before I would try to just do everything I possibly could in the hours that I had. But I slowly came to realize, especially after like having some health issues, it's not worth it. You really just got to prioritize yourself so you can be the best person that you can be possibly every single day.
Yeah.
So,
well, now thinking of this journey, like I mean, because you've learned quite a few things. What has been like the biggest transformational thing that you think you've learned, that you've practiced? It could be since having one of your health issues. It could be any of that, but I'd love to like have you reflect on that. Not putting you on the spot, but putting you on the spot to think about.
I still remember to this day, we had our check-in at the end of 2024, and you asked me, what did you learn from this year? And that was 6 months after I had my hospitalization from my infection. And the biggest lesson that I learned was everything else doesn't matter in life when you have to take care of yourself, whether it be work, whether it be, in my case, it was mainly work, but any other like situations in life, it doesn't matter, because like back when I was hospitalized, I was trying to like figure out like, oh, how do I coordinate my work? Like I have to call someone to like, because I'm gone, and maybe what do I have to do? Blah 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 blah. No, no, because you know what? You can repeat that study. You can, like it. Somebody at work will figure it out. But if you jeopardize like your actual like health and, try to compromise anything that will like help you get better, it's not worth it. And I almost like regret the second time I had the surgery to go back to work as fast as I did, because maybe I should have taken one more week to like heal. Because I will say, was I really productive in that week I came back to work? Not really.
What do you think it was? Not trying to play therapy card. It's
No.
not therapist, but I'm like, what do you think it was that made you want to go back to work? Was it that you wanted to be in a different environment? Was it the fact that you wanted to, like, any kind of feelings or emotional feelings? Did you want to suppress that? Did you just want to not fall behind in work? Did you want to, like, be back to being yourself again? Like, I mean,
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. But I think the main thing was, if you can even think of what FOMO means at
mm-hmm,
work, like I just sometimes I really do have some control issues with my experiments. I've been burnt in the past where I've given help. I've asked for help from other
mm.
individuals at work, and every single time I've asked for help, something's been messed up. So I have a little bit of control issues when it comes to my
You
own.
know, I don't know if I would consider that control issues because that's like you trusted and then something went wrong. It's because I think your perception would be different if you did it and everything and then some and everything went right. I feel like you'd have an easier time letting go.
Yeah.
Where it's like if something is not done correctly, then you're like, no, because this is a reflection of me.
Right. But then
Yeah.
at the same time, I think about it, like, it still shouldn't matter, right? Because in the end, that isn't my fault. It's
Yeah.
not for the lack of me trying.
Yeah.
I mean, is it worth it to still come back to work due to the fact that I can't trust my coworkers, but then not be fully healed? I don't know if it's worth it. And I think about
Yeah.
it to this day, like maybe I just need to like let go, and like at some point I can't take the responsibility on from others making
Mhm.
mistakes. Like
Yeah. And I think that's another thing is it's not you
I'm
and you telling yourself like that that's something I also try to think too is like if my and this is for me, if my clients don't hit a certain goal by the time they're hoping, I start to take the blame.
mhm.
But then I'm also like, Julia, this is like
It's not
I internalize it, but I've learned over the years, I'm like, not everybody's the same. People don't always tell you everything either. You don't know if they went out and had Burger King or whatnot, and they're just not telling you because you'd be. I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed because I'd rather them tell me. But like, I think that's the other fact is a lot of people, um, they're on their own path, their own journey, and they're learning different habits. And
I'll be
yeah,
honest, like when I first coached with you, like I was sometimes like nervous to even tell you like, oh, like I went over the
yeah,
calorie limit, because like it's more of fear of disappointing you.
yeah,
But like you have to remember that this is your journey, and
yeah,
it's your coach can only take you so far.
yeah.
It's if you mess up and you drop the ball, that's on
Yeah.
you.
And that's the thing. For me, and I don't want people to ever think like I would be disappointed in them. I think it's just because
It was in
I'm
the
very
beginning for
passionate.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, I think
Now I told you
now you're,
everything.
yeah, now it's like everything. Well, we get to that point, but
Yeah.
I would rather somebody, I mean, we've become so close as
Yeah.
friends too, so it's different. Like we have that barrier broken. Like it's
Hmm.
not just client,
Yeah,
we're like
no.
now friend. But um I would say like I would hope a client would tell me everything
Yeah.
because it would help
It just
me
helps you. Yeah.
in helping your journey, right? Like
Exactly.
I do want you to tell me if you went to like get ice cream last night and you ended up eating like 3 cups of ice cream or 4 cups and things of that nature. And that's that
I
I'd
mean,
rather like any person tell me that than
yeah.
like not tell me anything
It's
at
like
all.
going to a doctor and not telling
Yeah.
them what drugs you're taking,
Yes.
because what if
Or if you're
something
drinking alcohol or something like that.
exactly, what if it messes up the procedure? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
really
Yep,
It's a,
that's a
yeah.
good analogy or good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I've come to like realize, just be honest. Yeah, I didn't hit my water goal. I only had like
Yeah.
14 ounces of water today. And you'll be like, girl.
I'll be like, you need to go hydrate yourself right
Hydrate yourself,
now.
I know. But I like at this point, like, what's the point of like not telling you the
Yeah.
information? Because like you said, you're only gonna like then tailor it to me and
Mm-hmm.
help me further.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of relationship we've built. And I think for me, I feel like I'm always going to be someone who needs to be held accountable and those kind of things. I need to be reminded, like, make sure you take care of yourself because it's not easy for some
Yeah.
people to like remind themselves to do that on their own.
And it's even the basics though. Like that's even for people listening and you're probably like, she said calorie counting and she said water. What is this kind of food? It's like I like tracking because one, it helps get you to your goals faster when you do it. And
Mhm.
two, it makes you aware of what you're consuming.
Yeah.
Because that's like tracking. And there are some clients I have not tracked at all with due to like their own perception or
Yeah.
eating disorders or something of that nature. So it really depends on the person, but tracking in regards to how much water did you have, because guess what? The more water you have, the better you're going to feel, the more energized you're going to feel. So if you're feeling constipated or bloated or whatever it is, like, did we hit our fiber today? Like, I'm trying to use it as a metric to help you succeed.
Yeah.
So that you can feel your absolute best. Like, my goal is to always get you to feel energized every single day. Looking your best is just a plus. Like, that's always just a plus. My first thing is, are you energized? Are you sleeping well? Are you feeling hydrated? Are you able to focus every single day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have everything, like all those check boxes checked off? And then the rest of it is like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and focus on the rest of your body, on like the external aspect, where so many people in the world just focus on, what do I look like on the outside? What do I look like on the outside? And so many of them, if you flip the body inside out, what does it look like?
When I actually felt my best, I actually weighed more than I did before I didn't look my
Yeah.
best.
Oh, I'm at the heaviest I've ever been, which I don't
But
care. I don't even consider that.
So good.
That's it. Like, it's true.
And guys, do not eat.
Yes.
You gain more weight when you
learn.
don't eat. If you eat and you drink water, that's the only way you're gonna lose weight.
Yeah. It's literally like,
it's true.
That's it. Well, that's even people going into like fad diets or things of that nature, and then
work.
That's it. It's not long-term sustainable. It's like, sure, that's even like keto. People are like, wow, I lost all this month, 4 months on keto. I'm like, congratulations. So how are you gonna live the rest of your life?
If you go back to
You're not
eating
gonna
the way you do, you're gonna gain all that weight
Yeah,
back.
it's like, it's just different habits, and it's not like you can't have this, you can't have that. If you want to have your ice cream and you want to have your Oreos every single day, just track it then. If you have a goal. But if you're like, no, I can go without it, or I'll have it once a week, then just focus on including more fruits. I go back to the basics: fruits, veggies, whole grains, nuts, seeds. Like, have that on the day to day. Have your big bowls during lunch. Like, have your protein in the morning, your protein shake, whatever it is. Like, there's so many simple metrics, but I think you had said the accountability part is like, that's where I like the accountability too. Even though I could hold myself accountable, I like having that coach where I check in with my coach too, and I'm just like, hey, I really this whole month have just been struggling with like prioritizing food, and it's at least awareness. And I think that's something a lot of people are struggling with, is just the awareness. Like, I'm aware I work a lot. Like, I enjoy what I do, but I'm aware that I don't rest enough. Like, I'm fully aware of that. You are aware of any kind of shortcomings you may have. And that's the thing, is like, when you're aware, that's step one. Many people are not aware, and they just blame external situations. So they're like, well, this person's a narcissist, so of course I'm going to act this way. Or my roommate treats me like this, so of course I'm going to behave like this and not eat well. It's like, there's a lot of blame and pointing fingers towards external situations. But then when you are sitting with yourself internally, you're like, okay, but what can I do to fix this situation? Yeah. So that's like, even for a job, if people don't like the job, I sit there, I'm like, okay, well, what about the job do you not like? Is it your boss? Is it the actual mission of the company? Is it the fact your coworkers order food without you? Is it like, what is it about your job that you do not like?
Yeah.
Is it the aura? Is it the people? Because then if there's something that you can control and you can take initiative to fix, then do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, really important because, I've implemented that now in my career, and it's only helped me like loads and loads. So.
And you choose your support system. Like that was something for everybody listening to, like that was something Pri and I harped on. Is our support system, because you're the most like the 5 people you surround yourself with and you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
So picking your partner wisely, like picking the people in your life outside family, and family even, you can choose who you want to spend the most time with and choose not to, and what you want to share with.
Yeah.
You do not owe anybody anything.
No.
Nothing.
No.
You do not have to share your information with other people. You become selective. And that was something like I've admired of you, of you choosing, like at work, like I know your friends at work because I know who you share stuff with at work.
Yeah.
I know who you could trust, even our OTF family. Like we have certain buckets of people, or certain, whatever, I'm lacking the word right now, but you have different avenues that you're looking at of people that you share stuff with. So if you wanted to talk more about like your support system and why it's so important to have a good support system.
Yeah, like over time you think you want to have 10, 15, 20 friends in life, but after I turned 30.
Well, I just celebrated my 30th, and I was like, I have a solid lot of people here, but they're all good people. Exactly. Like at my party, there's great people.
It was such a fun
Such
time.
Great people.
But I slowly came to realize, like, your friend circle, you want to reduce more and more over time. It's great to have like those acquaintances and people you see once in a while, but like people that you just really confide in and really tell everything to, that circle needs to reduce in your life. You don't want to be, I used to be an open book all the time, but like you now in your life want to just share things to a small set of people that you can trust, people that will not judge you, but also if they need to be, like honest with you, can be honest with you, because I don't want you to just be telling me like what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate with our relationship, because you are honest with me if I'm wrong about something, or if something that I'm doing should be tweaked a little bit or changed, you tell me.
Yeah.
And that's why this coaching is so important to me, because I want that kind of feedback in life. There are friends that will just tell you what you want to hear.
Yep. Oh, that dress looks great. Oh, the lipstick. Right before this, Pri and I were doing makeup because Pri's trying. I don't know if you guys could see. We're doing
and it's beautiful. Yeah. Hollywood glam, as I call it.
No, we're trying new makeup because I'm so used to wearing. I know this is like now girl talk. For 5 seconds, we're breaking this for a commercial of girl talk. So I'm so used to doing like gold eyeshadows, and Pri was like, "You need to try this new one. Just try it." And so I'm not used to it, but she's like, "No, Julia, it looks beautiful on you. I'm just not used to it yet." Then I put on a lip color. She's like, Julia, no, go back to the red. Go back to the red. And so I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate that because I need that. Yeah. And I was gonna say your comment about people, and I don't know if it was Jay Shetty, somebody said something of this, but of because you're learning and growing, your friends will change. Yeah. The high school friends, like I'm blessed to at least have my my kindergarten childhood best friend, but that's it. Like for me, but we talk maybe every like 4 months. Sometimes we'll go 6 months without talking, but she's still gonna be like right next to my sister on my wedding day. Like she's that girl that will be there. But it's as you evolve and as you change, you also change your attractions, or you change who you attract in your life. Like people who go to the gym, like I think of this now and I'm like, I think like 95% of my friends care about what they eat. They're not really big drinkers, and they go to the gym, they work out, because I've been attracting those people. Yeah. So
I would honestly say, like, if I can name maybe less than 5 people that I truly trust, that I keep in touch with on a daily basis.
Yeah. And that's
you being
that's great. I love you. But that's the relationship like we've built over time. And it's really but again, your relationships will evolve, and they should evolve as you age. And those friends, there are some friends that are always going to be there and always be your cheerleaders, and you want to hold on to them and you want to cherish them. But they, as you evolve again, if they're not growing with you, they're
Yeah.
probably going outward, right?
Yeah.
If they're not continuing to go. And I remember in college, I sometimes, even to this day, sometimes I'm like, wow, I wish I was friends with this person. Maybe I'll just go out to the bar or like go out for a drink with them. I'm like, Julie, you're not like a drinker. I mean, there's a couple occasions I will go out and do that, but I'm like, why in college towards the end of it, I'm like, why do I keep putting myself in situations? And it was like to meet the guys or to just fit in or
Yeah.
be that girl. And I'm like, I'm not that girl. Like, why? And I had a friend who would always say this. She's like, why do you try to fit in when you were born to stand out? She was like, you need to think of that quote. And it's
Hmm.
like, for all of us, like in our life, it's why do we care so much about fitting in?
Yeah.
Just like social media. Social media is a highlight reel. We know that. It's not anything but a highlight reel. And I fall victim a lot of times to getting in that comparison of like, why does this person not like me? Or why do they not like my post? Why do they not watch my story? And sometimes I have to catch myself. I'm like, Julia, why do you care? And ask yourself, does it matter in 5 years? Will this matter in 5 years? 99.99% of the time,
I
it will
don't
not.
like to post anymore because I do tend to like look up who's
Well,
looking at my phone.
yeah.
I just no, I
It's
don't
not,
like
you get
that.
to a point though where it's like, it's not even worth it. And I
Yeah.
think it's funny because now Instagram has this high like count, and I started to do it on my
Oh,
photos. And I'm like, oh, because when years ago, I used to be like, oh, I only have like 10 likes on my photo and stuff. I'm like, I thought it was a good picture. And so now I just hide it. I'm like, I don't need to see the number of how
yeah.
many people, like some, whatever, some posts I don't, but like, there are a lot of posts, like especially with my business ones. I'm like, highlight count. Like, I don't need to see the number because I don't need to put myself in like
Because
only two people liked it. Like
exactly, because in
stupid.
the end, if you the people that like mean the most to you in your life, you would have already shared this
Yes.
experience with them, and
Yes.
that is the only people who matter
Yes.
to see this post. Who
Exactly.
cares
When
about
I'm
like
engaged, social
the
media is gonna find out later. All my girlfriends are gonna know. They're gonna get a FaceTime or they're gonna get a picture,
exactly
and they're gonna be like, "Okay, well, this girl, she's engaged." And then the people who didn't find out will find out on social media. Like,
later? I mean, because like,
yeah,
what? Why does it matter that person that you never talked to if
yeah,
they saw it or not?
yep.
Because you don't talk to them.
Yep.
Like, who cares?
Yep. So there's so many, I mean, there's so many different avenues, but I've admired you and the choices you make of who you keep in your circle. And we've talked about that. And
Yeah.
it's exhausting to have to
Yeah.
keep up with everybody. It's like keeping up with the Joneses. Okay, wait, did I tell Mary that I went to Colorado? Wait, did I tell this person that we broke up? Wait, did I do this? And it's like, it's
And
hard. You have to start keeping a list. It's so exhausting.
and that's how I felt like so just so everyone knows, I am going through a journey with IVF. And initially I was a very big open book about everything, but I slowly came to realize not to do
No,
that
yes.
because we've seen how it can negatively impact you, especially like
Hmm.
people asking you questions and putting you on the spot and being quite insensitive, to be
Hmm.
honest, about some of the sensitive issues that I deal with. And I've come to realize like that's not good for my mental health.
No.
And so honestly, I've decided like, when I go through my journey and whatnot, in terms of like the step-by-step process, there are only like two or three people that are going to know about what's going on
Hmm.
because I do need to tell
Support,
somebody.
yeah,
But not everybody under the sun
yeah.
needs to know about it. It's a very personal thing. And I thought, like I would be okay to be an open book about it, but like, no, I do understand why people do keep some of those things private.
Hmm.
But when it comes to other aspects in my life, like when I went through my endometriosis journey, that's the kind of things that I feel like I'm okay to share with
Yeah.
anybody because now I'm an advocate for it.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
think it's so important to, advocate for things that can help other people
Yeah.
in the long term.
Yeah.
So I will talk about that anytime and every time.
Yeah. Well, that's something I was gonna touch a little bit if you were comfortable
Yeah.
talking about it, and since we brought it up, just how would you explain to a listener like what endometriosis is? How does it impact a female?
Hmm.
Like, is it just females? Like, for somebody who has no
Yeah.
idea what it is
Yeah.
and that they might have it and not be
Yes,
sure of it, like how would you go about explaining that?
exactly. So endometriosis is it only affects females. Think about it like this. It's basically your uterine tissue um, growing outside of the uterus. So if you know like how a menstrual cycle works, once a month, your uterine lining sheds and you bleed. So think about that same tissue that's inside the uterus now on your ovaries, now on your fallopian tube, now on your colon, like other places in your body, even sometimes in your lungs or even in your brain, this tissue is growing. Now, when you bleed once a month, like in your uterus, you're bleeding everywhere that tissue is growing. So, in like for me, what I had was endometriosis on my ovaries and my fallopian tube. So every month I had my period, that pain would be on my ovaries and my tube, and it would radiate all over, and you're basically internally bleeding. That's basically what endometriosis is. So when you think as a woman, like, oh, my period pain it's just very intense. It's I just have stronger and like harsher periods. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have endometriosis because when you go to a doctor and you tell them that you have like very painful periods, it's just going to be like,
okay,
okay, that's normal. Women deal with normal period pain. Like pain is considered a standard for women now. Like, and that frustrates me so much.
Oh, when you told me about the surgery date, how it was going to be, because we wouldn't even be there, would we?
We still know. It was October 13th.
And that was mind-boggling to me. I'm like, how is this not like a pressing thing? Like, you are in pain every single day.
Every single day.
Every single day. Barely could walk, barely could function.
I had a period for 2.5 months straight.
Months. Not just 7 days.
Didn't stop.
Months.
For 2.5 months.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And to the male listeners, congratulations. You're just learning about either your future wife, like a future female situation or whatnot, sister, everybody, whatever. But yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, so basically, like, if you feel like your pain is a little bit more intense and more stronger than you think you can handle, go get it checked. Because, we as women don't often get like ultrasounds for, like transvaginal ultrasounds, which is not a very common thing to do. And it's not part of our routine checkup or anything. So if you feel the need to want to do that, go get it done, because I only knew about my issues when I was going through my fertility journey. When you do IVF, you are always being imaged by ultrasound. And so that is how I eventually knew. But even then, they didn't think too much of it, because they're like, oh, women have cysts all the time. Women can get pregnant with cysts. Little did I know, my endometriosis was making me infertile. And I had to get them surgically removed in order to have a successful pregnancy, which I'm hoping to have one day.
Yeah.
But
you will.
Yeah, I hope so. So
that's 10.
Yeah, exactly. So please, even if it sounds like a little bit of pain, it's not a little bit of pain. If you can't deal with it, if it's affecting your daily life, please go get it checked. Please insist that you get an ultrasound done, just to see maybe there is something really intense happening and you just don't know, because endometriosis can actually be silent. It can be completely silent. You may not even experience any pain. I just really think it should become a routine for women to get, imaging done at least once every 2 years.
Yeah, to see.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, that's what they do even for like cancers. They're like,
they do pap smear on you. And you're like, so why can't they do the imaging?
Yeah. And that's, I think, for women also who struggle with any infertility, like that should be the number one. Okay, can we check this off? How do we take care of it?
And one thing I want to emphasize is, if you're on birth control, completely masks the symptoms. So the only reason I found out that I had these cysts and these pain was after I got off of birth control. So unfortunately, I know a lot of women go on birth control because their periods are heavy.
Yeah.
You're masking the pain.
Yeah.
And you're masking the symptoms. So
you
could have it, but you just don't know.
Yeah. It's definitely a hard thing to experience. And I know even just itself, like going through the menstruation and the luteal stage, which is right before, I honestly think I struggled the most with that, like the luteal stage, because you experience brain fog, your energy levels drop, your hormones are all over the place. So it's like I'm like even right now, I'm kind of like, because I'm in the luteal, I'm like, oh, my brain, like, did I remember to do this? And then it's amazing. Like when I'm out of that, when I'm off of that, I'm like, wow, my brain, my memory is amazing. I don't feel like Dory anymore.
Like it's actually only with you that I really started to become in tune with my body, because I didn't know about how you're supposed to feel during these different phases. And when I was really on my fitness journey and like really going through rigorous like Orange Theory training, I realized like, why is it that there's like 2 or 3 days out of the month that I'm like doing my all outs at like 10 miles per hour? But then 2 days later, I'm like, I barely can even do 5 miles per hour. And wait, why is my stomach so freaking bloated?
It's something
It's so
all
crazy.
females go through. Like it does not, I mean, I should say most females go through. So
Yeah.
it's like one of those things, it's so challenging for somebody to experience that, but then also, or to go through it. But I think it's, women didn't start getting studied till 1991.
Yeah.
Like we're just, which is very recent considering women were here the same time men were. So it's mind-boggling to me that our research is just kind of, I'd say just beginning. Yeah, it's like 34 years or whatnot, but
So I learned something very interesting, especially when it came to endometriosis research, which I will collectively call like women's health research. So for every man that suffers from prostate cancer, $19 is being spent on research. So every single man in the United States who has prostate cancer,
wow.
$19. Every single woman who have endometriosis, $3. And 10% of the women have endometriosis, if that. There's a lot of people that we don't even know.
Don't even know. Those are just recorded.
$3 to $19.
I'm gonna say it's probably because do you think it's because of the term cancer?
It is, because cancer kills.
Yeah.
Endometriosis doesn't.
Yeah.
Also, endometriosis is a woman's illness.
Yeah.
When if a man had endometriosis, cure would already been there.
But that
I'm sorry to say it. I don't mean to say that.
And we're not trying to sound like, any way, but it's true in the fact that I think it's mind-boggling because one of my friends at Lifetime, she was telling me like 1991, she studied women's health too. And she's like, just 1991. It's only been 34 years. But so many women just go through life, like even older generations, they're like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Or, yeah, I didn't experience this. Or, yeah, it was tough. And like, there's so much. And my mom says to me a lot, she's like, you're so in tune with your body. You know this. And I'm like, I'd rather be in tune than not in tune with my body because yeah, there's sometimes like I'll be like, oh my gosh, am I getting sick? Oh my goodness, is this? And yeah, I am. I do overthink a lot, but I think it's also generationally where they were taught to grow up and just like you just go through it. Yeah, that's it.
That's my frustration. I don't mean to play this like men versus women game, but I had to advocate for myself by making call after call to get my surgery pushed up earlier. Like and I was told when I was like, I am in severe pain. What can I do?
Not unless you're dying on the hospital floor, they won't.
That nurse like called me. She's like, I could tell she was like on the older side, and she's like, "Hun, this is normal. Like the pain, I can't. I don't know what to tell you. Like it is what it is." And I'm like, it isn't.
No,
just it is what it is. I don't think you understand the severity of. I cannot function on a daily basis. The last time I went to Orange Theory when I had my endo, I was taking her class and I was on the floor,
like almost in tears. It was horrible. And I'm like, this is not normal and we should not be normalizing this of the pain. But it goes back to lack of education. Like in health class, they don't teach, women have periods. They don't teach you about the 4 cycles females go through. Like they don't teach you about the timing of things. Like there are women to this day that still do not know that you can get pregnant during like a certain time.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it's just, I'm like, like know your cycles, like know about your body. I think that's like the thing a lot of people are just not familiar with and they've just gone through life. And I'm like, I'd rather be educated and help advocate and explain because some women, and I remember even some of my closest friends, they were like, I just don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I feel so tired. I'm doing the same thing. And I'm like, okay, what part of your cycle is it? And then they're like, oh, it's right before my period. I'm like, that's 100% normal. And it's like, to normalize it and be validated, you're like, oh, I'm not crazy. And it's like, when my coach was telling me about this too, like, because she and I are such women's health advocates.
Yeah.
And I think that's when she told me, she was like, Julia, that's 100% normal for you to be like crying and thinking and emotional, like 100% normal. And I'm like, why am I crying so much at this point in my life? Like, and then I'm fine, or I'm like, or then I'm overthinking men, like a certain part of my cycle. I'm always like, oh, that's an attractive man. That's a really attractive man. I'm like, would I think that 24/7 though? Like,
No.
it's funny, but the female cycle, it's just, I'm just seeing education out now about it.
It's truly amazing. And I mean, I'm very, very happy now. I feel like more research is being put towards that.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's because a lot of women are dealing with infertility.
Mm-hmm.
Infertility, now that's like a major issue.
Yep.
So, like cancer, now it's being taken seriously.
Yeah. Because they're like, why are there not enough kids? I mean, also because the price of everything is disgusting.
And women are having kids later on in life too.
They are.
But who can afford to have a kid in their 20s?
Yeah. Well, at least we'll speak of New York. Who can God bless. God bless. I just gotta say, but you have to be having support or in a really great job or something, even that. Like,
yeah.
But I don't even know. Like, I think of that. I'm like, I've told you, I'm like, I could wait till my late 30s to have kids if I needed to. Like, I'm God willing. But I'm like, there's some women that are and it's everybody's own path for themselves. It's just, I have different aspirations right now. But I'm like, I'd rather be married for quite some time before
you want to enjoy married life.
Yes, I do. I want to build a foundation with somebody to know that we would be, like, that we are going to be a great team raising kids. Like, I mean, again, everybody's path and everybody's journey is different. It's just, I think it just goes back to the education and of female bodies, and I'm so glad that it's on the rise of learning and of learning about that, because no, it's not normal for you to be in pain. It's not normal to be going through this.
Please, if I can give one piece of advice,
which I will ask for in a second. So this is what
pain is not normal. Please advocate for yourself if you ever feel pain. If you have to make those calls over and over again, do it, because in the end it's worth it, and it helped me in the end. So, and now I am pain free. Yeah, which is like a blessing. Honestly.
It's been, I mean, I've seen your transformation. I just remember after surgery, you were like, yeah, I'm healing. And then like, you were like, I finally feel. And when you said feel like myself, it was just like, you felt like your happy, positive self, not the in pain, hunched over all the time. Like that was the important thing. So absolutely. I'm just so proud of you and the journey you've taken. I was going to ask to wrap up just like one piece of advice that you had for everybody, but it seems like, unless you had anything else that you've learned that you want to
just always advocate for yourself, and just, like, prioritize yourself. It sounds like cliche, but it is very easy not to do that in life. And I've learned over the years, especially with my journey with Julia, that like prioritizing yourself and advocating for yourself is one of the most important and most challenging things you can do in your life. But when you do it, it is so incredibly worth it. Your mental health will thank you. Every aspect of your life will thank you. Yeah. And you will just be that much better of a person. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Pri, for your time.
For having me.
I know this is my first one at my apartment. Eventually, or hopefully one day, I will have a studio. But and then you can come back to the studio.
Yeah,
eventually.
Part two.
But thank you everybody for listening to Best Life by You. If you have not yet subscribed, you can go ahead and subscribe. But stay tuned for future episodes, and I hope you all have a blessed day. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you would like to continue to get these episodes first thing, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube and on Spotify under Best Life by You. If you're interested in working together, y'all can go ahead and visit bestlifebyyou.com/work with me, or go ahead and follow me on Instagram at NutriFitJulia. Send me a DM, or just follow for more information, fun tips, and just a lot of humor. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's continue to live the best life by you.